All right, back with another question is, how did the iBuyers inflate home values? This was an interesting one, and it took a while and some research to try to figure out. Most agents are aware of this now, but what happened was, if you solicited for an offer from, let's say, Zillow, Opendoor, OfferPad, in the Boom, what they would do is they would come in and they would give you a somewhat low offer compared to market value. After that, they would go into their inspection period. And ironically enough, their inspection period might come up with $30,000 to $50,000 in repairs. A new toilet might be $1,200. A new roof might be $40,000. I mean, it was obnoxious what we were seeing from an estimate standpoint. How that inflated values was when they would close the transaction, they wouldn't record the repairs cost as a reduction in price. They would count it as a separate line item within the settlement statement. So why that matters is they would close a transaction for a home that they actually purchased for $60,000 less for the original offer. So once they come in and make all their repairs, they can relist it above what they bought it from you for, minus all of the overinflated repair values, and then capitalize on that gain. So the recorded value is what's taken into account from an appraisal process. So the appraiser would come in, look at the original closed transaction, would be unaware of the $40,000, $50,000, $60,000 discount that they were getting on the house, and then they would relist at the inflated price. And because it was 3 to 4 months later, you had that natural market appreciation anyway. So they were capitalizing on that. Second, they would use all of their own contractors in-house. So they had their own contractors paying a very remedial, hourly wage, as opposed to hiring out outside contractors, which would be more expensive. So they had all their products in-house, they had all their labor in-house. Then you were forced to use their own title company. So even their title fees would then be inflated from a normal market value. So they would capitalize on that and then relist. They would also use their own real estate agents on the relist side, so they would save on commissions because they had people in-house, and then you'd be forced to use their title company again. So they were double dipping throughout this transaction, not reflective in the actual price. So because of this, they were able to create these massive spreads in profit, which obviously indicated why their growth happened so fast. A couple of them went public on the stock market. But the reverse happens is once that they no longer have the volume to support those internal mechanisms, that's when all the layoffs come, and now their margins shrink drastically because the growth model is what's anticipated to create those margins and spreads and profitability. But when you don't have those internal mechanisms anymore, your profit margins decrease and eliminate. So it's a double-edged sword up in growth, but then when the market shifts, it's a double-edged sword down, and you're seeing this now drastically. If you're curious, just look up Opendoor and OfferPad on the stock market. You'll see what's happened and taken place. You're talking, dollar for each stock now. It's really, really low, and just completely reflective of what we all predicted from a real estate side in the long run. So that's why it went the way it did. Who knows what's going to happen in the future? Thanks for watching.